Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into something pretty big and honestly quite surprising in Middle East politics. The U.S. lifting sanctions on Syria.
Yeah, and it's not just the policy shift itself, though that's major. It's where and how it was announced that really catches the eye.
Exactly. Not D.C., right?
No.
President Trump announces this in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, during a meeting with Syria's new president, Ahmad al-Shara. And he even offered some public praise.
Right.
Okay, so let's unpack this because it feels, well, bigger than just typical diplomacy.
It certainly seems that way. This could signal a real shift in the region's dynamics. You see Saudi Arabia kind of stepping onto a more central stage.
It's a stage the U.S. seems keen to use.
Precisely. And for you listening, understanding the why behind this and what it might mean going forward is really key to grasping the changing Middle East landscape.
So Saudi Arabia, it feels like they're really pushing forward, doesn't it? Their Vision 2030 plan keeps coming up.
It's a huge part of the picture. They're making this very deliberate, multifaceted push to diversify away from just oil, change their image.
Modernize, basically.
Exactly. Vision 2030 is about tourism, foreign investment, social changes like women driving, these massive projects like...
And the sources we looked at highlighted how Trump actually used Saudi Arabia's progress as a kind of comparison point for Syria.
Yeah, like saying, look what's possible. When he expressed hope for Syria to become great, just like Saudi Arabia did, that wasn't off the cuff.
Right.
It positioned Saudi Arabia almost as, a model, maybe. And definitely a key partner for U.S. plans in the region.
Okay, and then there's the money. The economic deals announced on the same trip are huge.
Oh, absolutely huge. While the Syria news was breaking, the U.S. and Saudis were finalizing, over $142 billion in U.S. weapons sales.
Wow. Missile systems, drones.
And on top of that, $600 billion in U.S. economic investment pledged for things like AI, energy, aerospace, cloud computing.
So this fits right into that Trump approach, peace through strength, but maybe add powered by business.
You could say that. It's geopolitics mixed with very tangible economic benefits, jobs, tech transfer, things both sides want.
Okay, let's shift to the Syria sanctions themselves. Why lift them now? Remind us of the background there.
Sure. The sanctions have been in place for a long time, years, tied to, terrorism concerns, the horrific civil war, human rights abuses under the Assad regime.
But now there's a new leader, Ahmad al-Shara. That seems to be the trigger.
It looks like the opening Trump decided to take, yes. The change in leadership offered a potential pivot point.
So what are the strategic goals here for the U.S.?
Well, it appears there are a few key objectives. One, try to pull Syria away from Iran's orbit, reduce that heavy influence.
Okay.
Two, open up Syria eventually for reconstruction and potentially lucrative contracts for U.S. businesses.
Right, the economic angle again.
And three, maybe frame this as a win for diplomacy, positioning Trump as a deal maker on the world stage.
And doing it in Saudi Arabia, Iran's big regional rival. That sends a message, doesn't it?
A very loud one. It's symbolic, definitely. Making the announcement in Riyadh signals a potential shift in the regional order, with Washington trying to orchestrate things.
It feels like a power play, leveraging Saudi Arabia's transformation and its, deep pockets.
Absolutely. It leverages Saudi Arabia's changing status and financial clout. It's a calculated move.
So wrapping this up, Syria's path forward is still very uncertain, obviously.
Very uncertain.
But the message seems clear. The U.S. is trying to reassert its influence, using this partnership with a changing Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. This whole event, lifting sanctions, the location, the deals, it highlights how diplomacy, economics, and strategy are all tangled together in the Middle East right now. Saudi Arabia's rise, new Syrian leadership, it created this moment.
A final thought for you to consider. How might this closer alignment between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia really shape the long-term stability or instability and the power dynamics across the Middle East? Definitely something to keep watching.